All right, welcome back, everyone. So, if you're staring down that AQA GCSE Maths Paper 2 exam and, feeling the heat, you are absolutely in the right place. In this explainer, we're going to transform that exam stress into a highly strategic victory. Let's just cut right to the chase. You want to secure maximum marks on this paper, right? Are you ready to crack open the insider secrets and the exact strategies you need to literally scrape up every single possible mark? If that's a yes, let's get into it. Here's our quick roadmap for this explainer. 1. The Paper 2 checklist. 2. Your formula sheet weapons. 3. Calculator mastery secrets. 4. Analyzing real exam questions. 5. Hacking the mark scheme. And 6. Our final tips. Kicking things off with Section 1, the Paper 2 checklist. Okay, so the sheer breadth of topics on the Corbett Maths higher tier checklist, it can honestly be pretty intimidating. I mean, we're talking everything from algebraic fractions all the way down to 3D trigonometry. You're facing a massive variety of concepts here, and that is exactly why targeted revision is just absolutely crucial. You need a methodical list to lock in the areas you're confident in and zero in on where you desperately need to focus your precious study time. Now, if you're taking the foundation tier, take a breath. By focusing strictly on your core topics, things like basic probability, ratios, place value, and simpler geometry, you're going to save vital study time. Seriously, don't stress over the complex higher tier concepts. Just lock down your specific foundation list and master it completely. Moving right along to Section 2, your formula sheet weapons. When we compare the foundation and higher sheets side by side, it reveals exactly where your vital formulas live. Both of them give you the area of a trapezium, volume of a prism, and circle formulas. But check out the layout. Pythagoras and trigonometry rules are right there for you. You really don't have to rely purely on your memory when the exam pressure hits. So what exactly are they handing you on these sheets? Well, you get perimeter, area, and volume formulas. You get Pythagoras and trigonometry. You get compound interest, probability rules, and hey, if you're on the higher tier, you even get the quadratic formula. The absolute beauty of this is that you no longer need to memorize these complex strings of letters and numbers. You can channel all your brain power purely into extracting the numbers from the question and just applying the formulas accurately. On to Section 3, Calculator Mastery Secrets. All right, here are your pro tips straight from the Save My Exams revision notes. First up, reset your calculator before the exam. This stops you from accidentally answering in radians instead of degrees, which is honestly a classic panic-inducing trap. Second, do one calculation at a time. Third, if you type it in, write it down on your paper. This prevents those awful untraceable errors. Next, always write down more digits than you need from the screen during your intermediate steps. And please, absolutely do not round until your final answer, or you are going to lose accuracy marks for no reason. You also really need to master your shortcuts. Get familiar with the specific layout of your calculator, and do it early. Know exactly where the fraction, square, cube, power, and root buttons are. And you have to absolutely master the shift button. Sometimes it's labeled second or NV. Using that shift button unlocks mixed numbers, cube roots, the whole shebang. Knowing these shortcuts is a massive game changer that saves you precious minutes during complex, multi-step calculations. All right, Section 4, Analyzing Real Exam Questions. Let's look at this upper bounds question from the June 2023 higher tier. Notice that bold, uncompromising instruction right in the middle. You must show you're working. Examiners don't use bold text by accident, okay? They're practically shouting at you. Even if you magically produce the final correct answer on your calculator, if you don't show those steps, you get 0 marks. 0. Mr. Tompkins' EdTech confirms exactly why this is so critical. During a past paper walkthrough, he warns that sometimes the mark scheme explicitly states it won't give you the mark unless you actually mention those intermediate workings. His ultimate advice? Err on the side of caution. Always put your data and your intermediate calculations directly into the answer space to secure every single point. Leave nothing to chance. Okay, here's another massive insider tip. Have you ever seen a question that starts with using the quadratic formula or otherwise? Listen, if a question suggests using the formula, it is basically a flashing neon hint from the examiner that the formula is the absolute easiest, most straightforward path to the answer. Don't try to be a hero and figure out some complicated way to factorize. Just take the hint, open up your formula sheet, plug in your numbers, and let the quadratic formula do all the heavy lifting. Next up, Section 5, Hacking the Mark Scheme. Let's take a second to decode the examiner jargon straight from the official AQA rules. First, M marks, method marks. These are awarded for a correct method that could lead to a correct answer, even if your final answer is completely wrong because of a silly calculator slip. This right here is exactly why you show your workings. Next, misread. If you accidentally copy a value incorrectly from the question, you're actually surprisingly forgiven. You only lose a maximum of 2 accuracy marks, but you keep all your method marks. Finally, further work. If you get the right answer and inexplicably keep calculating, examiners will usually just ignore the extra work, unless it actually goes on to contradict your correct answer.
And speaking of contradictions, we need to talk about the choice rule. When you provide a choice of answers, or maybe try 2 different methods in the answer space, examiners are instructed to mark each attempt. But you really have to choose wisely here. If both methods are valid, great, you get the M marks. However, if one of your methods or answers is incorrect and contradicts the right one, it will actually result in marks being lost. So rule of thumb, if you know you have the right answer, make sure to cross out the rough, incorrect working so it doesn't count against you. And finally, Section 6, Final Tips. So the most crucial thing to take away from this explainer is to remember this ultimate checklist. Number 1, exploit your formula sheet. I mean, these are free marks, literally sitting on your desk. Number 2, show every single step of your working to guarantee those sweet method marks. Number 3, trust but verify your calculator. Write down what you type and only round at the very end. And number 4, don't panic over misreads. Just keep going with your method because the mark scheme is fundamentally designed to reward your mathematical thinking. We've handed you the playbook, but you know strategy is absolutely nothing without execution. So which of these tactics, showing your M marks or finally mastering that calculator shift button, are you going to implement in your revision today? Think about it. If you want to keep learning in this focused, structured way, please drop a like and subscribe for more expert walkthroughs. Join our community, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.